that process, how is that an actor? Like, you've got two people like as directors and also this writer on set,
right.
and they have to be unanimous. Is there ever any sort of confusion, or is there delegation like Brendan handles actor work, and that sort of thing? How is that for you on your end? I can see potential issues, but maybe they work it out.
I thought it was going to be really confusing because my experience with films before, when there was a writer on the set, it was always a conflict. Oftentimes with a director, or the writer would come over and tell you notes, or the director would tell you to ignore a note, or he wants to change a line, or there's always once in a while that happens, but it was so strange that did not happen once on the film, and it's not even being nice to you guys, but really seriously, I mean, you guys were just this nice artistic organism, like Daniel was so clear with his writing, so adaptable to changing it. And he would change it based on what was actually being filmed. And I think from what you filmed...
So in that sense, was there a lot of improv with you and the other actors?
No, there wasn't very much improv. Not in my scenes, there wasn't. I don't know, maybe, I think with one of the other, Mercer, maybe there was more improv.
Yeah, with the guy who played Geronimo, he was sort of a little more free.
Because he was a kooky character, and he wanted to... That's how he got into the scenes, too. That was his sort of approach, which is interesting. But most of the scenes I was in, was pretty much on the script, and what was rare for this is I had the script far ahead of time. Yeah. So, which is
when you say far ahead of time,
a month. A month, but that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good
for a lead role,
film.
though.
Yeah.
When you say how much before that were you cast?
About a month and a week.
maybe not even.
Oh, really? You were cast 5 weeks before shooting and given the script a month?
We started shooting at the end of January, and we cast
in the very beginning of January.
We cast you the first week of January.
Holy
right?
cow!
That's right.
So you did not know him before that?
No, it was. We put out the ads and sort of the traditional backstage New York ways of doing things. We had sort of an advantage with this film as we're casting 18 to 30-year-olds in New York City.
Did you go union? Are you union?
I'm union, yes.
So did you shoot SAG experimental?
We actually intended on not working union until we cast Dan, and we said we'll jump through whatever.
I wasn't cast through the system. I was a friend of theirs.
Yeah, I was going to
recommended them. She saw me perform on stage because I work with a company here.
Doing what?
I was doing a one-person show called Hyenas. But also I'm part of a company called the Wooster Group here in New York. So she had seen me. She had seen me and said, "Oh, why don't you call them?" And they called me, and I was like, "Sure." That's so rare that you just have that happen.
We basically, we sent out a list to all of our actor friends before we started combing through the 1,200 headshots we received via email. And so we saw Dan in sort of the very first week, and maybe
He was the first person auditioned for anything.
He was the very first audition, and we're like, we can make this movie now. And we sort of knew right away. It was
because when we first read Dan...
I think it's better to be the first and the last. I just throwing that out there.
So. Well, I remember coming in that first day, and I think you had sent me just that monologue.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't even have the script.
Which monologue?
At the beginning
the
of the film.
monologue of this.
In the club, the speech.
That's a beast of an audition piece, too.
Yeah, and
I'm not criticizing. I'm saying it's a challenge, and so.
Yeah, it was, but it was. I was working. I stayed up. I think I got it the day before, and I memorized it and worked on it. But it was good writing. I mean, Daniel wrote it really well, so it seems like a beast, but actually there's natural beats and rhythms in it that are really nice. And when I met you two, it was so comfortable right away. I was like, oh yeah, I could totally make a film with these guys. Well, listen, here's the thing. Okay, I'm not trying to be some kind of crazy, and I'm not trying to impress anybody.
You impress me, Joey.
Right, so, look, it's just that I've been thinking about this, and I've been getting angry lately. Angry, like mad as hell type of thing. So I've been thinking about it a lot. A lot. And I can't shake the idea.
Shake it!
Shake the idea that we're all a bunch of mean, selfish, sarcastic, sad people. A generation of us. I mean, look at this. We sit around, we roll our eyes at our parents' ideas of hard work, so we romanticize dumpster diving and then sleeping till noon. We think we're so much cooler than all those tools in middle America who watch MTV, but you know what? We all look the same.
I want to talk about rehearsals. Was there any?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there was-
it's not a dumb question. I mean,
No,
you'd be
no, I
surprised
know,
how
no.
many. I mean, Matt, you guys went to NYU. How many of your colleagues did rehearsals? I know 3/4 of mine.
I don't
didn't.
know that we even did for our films, some of them very much in NYU.
Yeah, I
There
think.
just isn't time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we.
Well, I mean,
saw-
certainly for maybe senior theses, they are theses.
EC,
Yeah.
ECI.
But yeah, no, we do you remember much about the rehearsals? I mean, we sort of.
How many? Was there a week? 2 weeks? Just
No,
a
I
few
think
days
it was
here
about
and
a
there?
week.
We had
but
a week of rehearsals where we did, everybody got together and we went over the script a few times as a cast.
Table reads.
Right, and then we rehearsed in that first week. I think we did some of the major scenes. We actually went what we thought were going to be the most difficult scenes, emotionally difficult.
How's that
scenes.
process?
How
The
in
rehearsal
that
process.
first week?
Yeah.
It was good for this. I mean,
Was it just working on the scenes, running the scenes? Was it discussion? Like what entailed rehearsal?
Well, it was great because Adam and Brendan and Daniel were there. So you had, the two directors, the DP, and the writer in the room with you. So you're like, how's this going to be shot? What are you going to try to emphasize? And you knew, okay, I'm going to not shake my head like this. I'm just going to keep it like this. And technical things like that, but also
Do you guys
like,
have a camera in the rehearsal room? Like you were able to start framing?
I don't think
No,
so.
but I was
No.
definitely
Thinking.
anxious because I had never shot a feature before.
Oh.
So,
You had shot stuff before.
I'd shot some narrative stuff, but it was all short.
I think
Did
once
you
we
rehearse
started
on sets, or did you
No, just
in
in
our
our
apartment.
apartment.
in apartment, but once we started filming, then we would rehearse the beginning part of the day just to go over some of the scenes
While you were there.
on set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you discover all new things
Right.
once the
But
environment.
what was great was with the actors, the group of actors were really great because everybody was so driven to work on it. So whenever something else was working, we get together and work, even without you guys, and just rehearse for us.
Did you know any of the other actors?
Geronimo
Geronimo
was played by
Union.
Mercer Boffey, who actually was one of our roommates at NYU, went to film school with us, has sort of more pursued the acting side of things since graduating. And
And the rest just auditioned and nailed it.
yeah, I think the one exception was Mayumi Ando, who plays Kiko. We were having a really hard time casting her part, and actually, like a week before we started shooting, I was honestly going through every Broadway show and looking at the cast list and trying to find female Asian actors in their mid-20s.
And you had decided to go union by this point.
Yeah, I mean, she actually is in SAG, and so we were at a SAG show. And honestly, I found her. She was in Rent. I emailed her fan site. She had Adam was
crazy.
out of town actually.
Yeah, I don't even know this
Yeah,
story.
she was, I emailed her fan site
He
because she
stalked
was in
her for
Rent.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
She hadn't checked that email in like a month. Checked it the morning I emailed her, and I think we actually started shooting on like Tuesday. It was right before we started shooting.
Yeah.
She was able to come out and audition for us that
Kinda
day.
close.
Yeah, no, we were having a really hard time finding that character, and
Because the chemistry between them is so great, and the fact that that's
I was gonna
weird.
say she's a champ because as soon as we got together, we were both like, "Whoa!" Like she was the easiest person to work with. I mean, everyone was really easy, but she was so easy to work with her on film, and in that situation, it was
Yeah.
more remarkable to me. I don't know what. That
Yeah,
was.
that's amazing because it seems like that's something. It's because she didn't get rehearsals. It seems because if it was that close.
we still no. I mean, it might
We
have
did-
been.
we
I
had
guess
one
it was
day.
a
We
week
had one
before.
day.
Oh, okay. All
We
right.
did a day of rehearsal.
We
yeah.
did a day.
You're crunching the time for narrative.
remember I came-
No, I can't remember.
I came
anymore.
back from being away, and you showed me the tape of her audition.
You were away like a week before production.
Yeah, where was I?
Yeah, we're-
Not for like a couple
Okay,
days
no, I'm
or
just
something.
teasing.
But
No,
I wondered the same thing because I was pulling my hair out the rest of the time. So where the
I wasn't even there during the whole filming. We made it.
But you know what it was? My
He was digitally and
Digitally.
my soon-to-be fiance had yet to meet my father, so
was
that's
a
what was
pre-scheduled
happening.
trip.
Oh wow! You
yeah,
gotta-
I know.
all these marriages.
So I got engaged like on the last day of shooting, practically.
Yeah.
So
Wow!
anyway,
Yeah.
another story.
It's a big rap party.